Why does this thing keep doing this? Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I was about to say I lost one of my monitors. Right. All right. I actually finally have some movement today. Finally. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? Still trying to get myself together. News on the day. Low impact news coming at 9 and 9:30. This market is moving and grooving today. Finally, after so long of doing nothing. Okay. All right, so I'm only trading 2 of my 3 evals today. The one that's closest to passing, I don't feel like putting that on the line again. I went from being $370 something, I think, from passing to like 6 something. I don't even know what the number is, but I'm not happy about it. So actually, I'm 768 away now. So we're just gonna put that eval up for a minute until I figure out what the, and that's just what we're gonna do. Good morning, Pred. How are you this morning? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do with that. missed it. Oh shit. Maybe I should have missed it. Oh, no fucking signal. Duh. This is exactly why I'm not putting my other eval on the line right now. This is exactly why. No signal at all. Let me see if that would have been a sequence. Nope. Nope. Good morning, New. How are you this morning? This market is just moving and grooving today, huh? It's way too whippy right now. Like the market has no in between. It's either choppy and not moving for days and weeks at a time, or it's this. There's no happy middle ground at all. We just went up 200 something ticks in 2 minutes. Like, come on. shoot. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? The moves are so exaggerated. All right, nice little counter trend pullback. This pink line is a extended resistance level because we're so high up in the market right now. No signal, but right now, not to say I don't care, but I still haven't even finished my back test to see if the signals even matter or not. So I just, if I feel it, I feel it. If I don't, I don't. I had to basically download the old version of the indicator for it to pop up on my charts. And they finally emailed me back. It wasn't very helpful, so that's all I can say about that. Bro. Oh, matter of fact, all right, I have to stop for news anyway. I'm gonna dang, it's not. Oh, forgot. Brand new chart with. Sorry. The market is extremely overbought. Is this a recipe? Well, consumer spending and high job loss. It absolutely is. But you know, they've been saying that we've been like in somewhat of a recession for a while now. Like for a nice long while. I might need to alright, let's see where we are. I might need to send them this freaking recording from when I tried to put the indicator on older data, because of course they don't have the same issue. I don't know how, and I don't know why they asked me what time frame I'm using. You should know from you having to put out a totally new version of the indicator because of me. You should know exactly what bar type I'm using. Like, what the hell? But whatever. Just annoying. So I sent them all the information they need. Hopefully they can figure it out, because I don't want to have to keep every day that I need to backtest to try to find every day that I need to backtest, I have to re-import the old setting, the old indicator, and then when I'm done, then I have to re-import the new one back in. Like, I don't feel like doing all that, and I shouldn't have to do all of that. Here's China's making deals with the countries to offset export and produce. Ooh. That says a lot. Damn. Yeah, he is kind of screwing things up. I just think a lot of decisions are made based on the effects of the minority. Like, I'm sorry, minority as far as like income wise. Who cares if jobs are available? They don't need jobs, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that a lot of people are being affected negatively, and it's not cool. Not cool at all. You short of silver? You have to import, export your settings. Yeah. Not my settings, the whole indicator. Because it literally just doesn't load at all. If I can find, there's like a short video that I had made recently. Oh, I keep forgetting. Why? Oh, it's because I keep having. But yeah. Oh, duh. When I basically when I try to backtest, I can't. It doesn't load anything on the chart. It just sits there and says calculating, 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 calculating. And let me see if I have a video of it. No, that's not it. I did it on stream. I think it was one of the days that you weren't here though. But yeah, I did it on stream, and where is it? I don't know. I'll have to find it again. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? But yeah, it never calculates, and I tried to tell them that it's a problem because yesterday, just to make sure it wasn't just me, like just me tripping, I went ahead and I re-imported the old setting, the old indicator, and sure enough, it loaded very quickly with no issue whatsoever. And I put it on like I don't know, it was July 23rd through, I think I went the 23rd through maybe like the 28th. I was able to like backtest all of those days. But that's the same version of the indicator where it causes me extreme data lag to where I can't trade. So there's that. So basically, once I was done backtesting last night, I had to re-import the newest version of the indicator just so I could trade today. And I don't feel like fucking doing that every time. Because it's going to be one day that I forget. Not this will be the biggest and best recession ever. How did the trade go, Applejacks? I'm assuming good. Gold is probably better, but it's set up before 9:30. I don't like trading before then. 35 tick short. Nice trading, guys. Nice. Not let me hold it. Girl. But yeah, so I just sent him an email like there's nothing. He asked me for screenshots. There's nothing to screenshot. It just says calculating and it never calculates. I noticed the issue when the new version came out. That's the only reason I haven't finished the back test to figure out like if signals on bid ask mean anything or if I can just do this with no signals, because I can't back test, like nothing happens. There was one day where I literally left the chart open for 10 minutes to see if it would ever calculate and it never did. So yeah. So I don't know what's up with that. Of course it pushes up. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I told him there's no screenshot, it just says calculating. I did attach my template for the indicator and I told him how I re-imported the version prior. It loaded very quick with no issues. However, I can't use that one while trading because it causes terrible lag issue that was unresolved until the new version was created to solve the issue. And I said if I put it on a brand new chart with no other indicators and use a date older than today, nothing loads. I'm only loading 3 days of data. And I gave them the 3 different Renko settings. And I said, I've done this for the longest. And I've done that with the older version of the indicator. I'm not using market replay. Tick replay is enabled. But even, like, I don't even enable tick replay first. I just try to load it first. And it still does nothing. It was green. Nice. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, I deal with the most issues known to mankind. Okay? I do. I really do. And it's very annoying. Very much so. And there's just, so right now I just have to keep, I'm cool with re-importing it, but I just know it's going to be a day that I'm going to forget to re-import the next version kind of thing. And it's just going to irritate me. So I don't know. And I think it's the Renkos, I'm pretty sure. But it's just so weird because well, no, it's not because it's the new version doing that. Never mind. I almost said something stupid. I'm sleepy. Forgive me. So right now, I'll tell you guys, I'm having trouble with a couple of things. Still not knowing how to treat the buy and sell rotation levels. gonna trade right up there right now anyway. Like this to me is a resistance level. So if price comes down, let's see if there was a time where it happened. Why are the point of controls different? Whatever. Like here, okay. This paint's red. Don't pay it. This is the overnight high behind it. But either way, this starts off as support, right? It's a blue line and it's called buyer pressure line or something like that. But when we change to a downtrend, it's red. It turns red, or whatever, to indicate that it's now resistance. But I still, in my heart of hearts, feel like this needs to be treated as support. And you can see, like, we have trouble using it as resistance because we're really attempting to use it as support and almost like reject the downtrend to continue the uptrend, essentially. And even say, let's see. And I'm just having the hardest time figuring out how I want to do this. Let's see another time. Like here, we change to an uptrend. It's the pink resistance line becomes support, which is cool. But you can see that the market was really trying to use it as support, but it essentially used it as resistance to push down, and we continued down. So the same thing kind of happens with buy and sell rotation levels. Like the rotation levels are built off of higher lows in a downtrend, essentially, which would technically be support levels. I don't even think we had any trades that moved off of it today. Let's see if I go back. The market's not doing anything right now anyway. So that's been like my biggest struggle, is like trades that happen off of levels, because I feel like those two levels are like the red and green levels and the buy and sell rotation levels are the levels that price kind of reacts off of the most, unless it's like VWAP or something like that. I'm trying to find an example of course I'm not gonna find one. And see, like this buy rotation level is not actually here when we're in a downtrend. It doesn't paint until we break out and become an uptrend. Oh, that's FOMC. I don't have any examples of buy and sell rotation in the current data, but it's kind of important that I establish which way it's going to be used, because price reacts differently when you're buying at support versus buying at resistance. And I probably like a month ago or something, I don't know, it's been a minute, I had went through the data that I had at the time and I highlighted all the historical data on my analysis sheet. If like I was treating the green and buy rotation levels as support, and so on those sheets, on the analysis sheet, I just highlighted them yellow to say like it's a rotation level that's causing this, or it's a red or green level that is causing this, so that I can see if I want to actually treat it as opposite the color, which I've been literally flipping back and forth between. Well, not like every day or anything. So that's like been my biggest struggle right now. I don't know. I have to figure it out though. I have to figure it out. Let me see if there was any on the previous day. Like you can even see how like the lower high here, each time we pushed off of it, it was like a smaller push than the previous push. Even this one, even though it's not fully connected, it got broken. But even this was a smaller push than the previous one. And then you can even see here, lower high, we pushed up, created divergence, and we slammed down 48 ticks from there. Now this was a decent push off of it, but it's a struggle trying to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know. Right edge. All right, we got some movement again. And I think that trades off of levels are like my biggest issue right now. It's no think, I know, because I have the data to show it. That's been my biggest issue. So no, Janelle, that actually it wouldn't help because I'm actually on a 20 tick chart. So the rotation levels, they paint the same no matter what size Renko you're using, it's going to paint the same. Let me see if, hold on. I'm about to load a chart that would give like better examples. Let's see if maybe the 12 is better. Because what happens is like, even if I, you can tell on Renko's regardless, but if I like put a time-based chart next to it and I draw out that same level, you can see that the market's attempting to use it as resistance quite a few times. And then it's like at some point we finally use it as support, but there has to be like it has to be uniform in how it's used kind of. All right, this is actually a really good example. Let me switch. Hold on, I'm gonna switch this chart real quick. Because the market's not doing anything that I want it to do anyway. All right, so here's a kind of better example here. So it's an uptrend, and you know that's why the buy rotation levels are painting. So you see how like there's a lower high here, so it paints the level, and you see the market push down from it. So then this lower high creates another rotation level. The market pushed down from it. So it's clearly a level of resistance. This time where we tried to push up from it, you can see there wasn't very much of a push. This one wasn't, it didn't hit it, but it was pretty close. And then it's like it breaks. If I take this buy right here, I don't count it as reacting off of this level because it's not attached. It detached itself back here. And it's like as soon as it detached, we pushed up. But there was three rejections here first. Before we really like broke through. And but wait, no, not there. You can even see like when we first changed to an uptrend right here, it was having a hard time like actually pushing off of it, but it eventually uses it as support. So yeah, that's like an issue I'm having. even here, all right, we changed to an uptrend and we literally are having trouble pushing through. So to me, that's more of a resistance level, not support, even though it goes because it's resistance first. I mean, now the red and green levels are a little bit different than the buy and sell rotation levels, obviously. Um, but I think for sure the red and green levels need to be treated opposite. If it's green, it's resistance. If it's red, it's support. Look here, we tried to change to a downtrend. We pushed up instead off of the red level. Even here, we finally broke through, but when we came back, we pushed up off of it and went back into an uptrend. Pushed up from red, up from red. So I don't know, it might be something, but even here, by rotation level in an uptrend, we push down, we push down, we push down, we push down. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, you're probably referring. No, yeah. So no matter what the time frame is, it's gonna do the same thing. I'm just here so I won't get fined, girl. All right, we do have 9:30 news coming in about 6 minutes. But that is literally just something that I've been kind of struggling with trying to figure out. Like I have a cheat sheet where I'm treating those levels as opposite of whatever color they are, and then I have another cheat sheet where I'm treating it as if it's the same, and I'm just trying to figure out which one is going to be better. Just in case this detaches itself. Because I truly just don't know how I want to treat it. So 45. I'm also thinking that the delta signals might only matter when price is not attached to, or the entry bar is not attached to a level, because sometimes, like, if price is reacting really nicely off of a level, there's going to be times where there's just not going to be a signal. This resistance level does not give me clarity on jumping in a trade. I still use EMA indicators. That makes sense. So for me, it's not about like jumping into the trade because price touched it. It's all right. The order flow looks like this, volume looks like this. However, the entry bar is attached to something. So price is reacting off of it. So what happens is there's 3 different classifications for the trades based on the setup. It's number 1 is the entry bar just kind of floating in thin air, kind of like now. If it was to push down from here, it's not attached to anything. Well, it's a new high, but that's a little bit different. But it's not attached to VWAP, any pivot level, no, nothing. There's nothing there. Price reacts differently when this reversal bar is attached to nothing. Price also reacts differently if price is reacting off of a level. So if we're selling at resistance, that's different than selling at nothing, and it's also different than selling at support. I've just noticed over time that price reacts differently at different levels. And so the whole goal is to figure out how order flow plays a part, because essentially most of the time, if price is reacting off of a level in a strong manner, number 1, the volume will be low. and the delta will typically be efficient depending on if we're selling at resistance or support, whatever. Like, the longer it takes for price to react off of a level, the weaker it is technically, at least in the way that I'm trading. And it also depends on what kind of level we're at, but for the most part, if we're reacting off like we're selling at resistance, there shouldn't be very much volume in this bar. This lets me know that the buyers are not having it, right? And this also lets me know that this resistance level is not that strong, because if it was, it wouldn't take 1,400 transactions to push the market down when we barely needed any volume to push up, essentially. So it's a pretty weak level. And you can see by the immediate rejection right back up. It took too much volume to push this down, I guess 40 ticks, push the market down 40 ticks off of a resistance level. So that's kind of why I have to figure out how those levels are defined, because it makes a difference. Like, even looking at my cheat sheet right now, there's only one place with all of the different setups where it is okay if volume is high, selling at resistance. Only one place, and that's a counter trend pullback. Aside from that, that should never happen. So yeah, they look a lot like fake out breakouts. I think that it's more so of a how do I describe? It's more so of a prices. Yeah, I guess you could look at it kind of like it's a fake breakout, because price is reacting there. But my biggest goal is trying to make sure I stay out of those, right? Like, I'm okay if something is a fake breakout like this. This is a fake breakout. There was a lot of volume. We were pushing off of resistance. And this is why I don't just, we're at resistance, let's sell. That's exactly why I don't do that. So there are certain like volume and order flow combinations that do signal that it's a fake breakout, and you are extremely right, and that's why I'm trying to stay out of it. Is that an ROI indicator at the bottom of the screen? You see orders now? You mean this right here? What do you see? What you mean? Which screen? And why is this pulled? I don't even understand why that's so high. Kickboxing kicked my ass last night. Why, Applejacks? Oh, this is just volume. It's volume up down, so it just shows me the volume of every bar. That's all. It's just a typical volume up down indicator. It's no different than this volume indicator over here on the time-based chart. It's no different. It just looks different because it's spread out because of the Renkos. That's all. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, see, like this right here, there's so much more volume in this bar than every bar pushing up, including the reversal bar. And we're at an upper deviation band on the VWAP, which is resistance. If this was a strong level, it wouldn't take so much volume to push it down. So the only thing that I've carried forward from the way I was trading before is I do look at the volume of the current indicator, the volume of the entry bar versus the highest volume bar in the swing, because it kind of tells me like the effort that's being put in. So I use volume for effort and, delta for I can't even think of the word right now. But either way, so I do still look at that. And that's kind of how I knew this sell was pretty inefficient, because you can see there's like 1400 volume in this candle down. The highest volume going up was 745. If this was truly trying to sell down, it wouldn't take so much to do it. That also helps me to stay out of like especially trades trying to trade back towards the session high. Usually the only time those trades work out pretty well is when there's more volume in the entry candle than any candle coming down, because it shows the effort of the buyers trying to continue the trend. Punch it and kick it for a minute straight and then do a minute. Oh, hell nah. I would never be able to go to that class with you, honey. Burpees hurt. Like that, I don't even mean hurt from like a soreness standpoint. They hurt my back so bad. And my knees. The jumping, Like anytime I work out, I have to do low impact just because of all the structural damage to my back and knees. True, I have what? Oh, I guess. But yeah, so I also I'm still using volume to like try to determine the strength of a move. Like, even though this is a 1 bar pullback, you can still technically count this. So there's 5,000 volume coming down versus 1.4 coming down. So it's a pretty strong move. So it kind of shows me ahead of time if like the market is reversing because of potential exhaustion, or if it's a strong move and we need another strong move to kind of help push the market in the reverse direction. So I'm really just looking for a pullback. I don't really like trading going back towards the new highs and lows anyway. So I'm really just looking for a pullback. Got hair in my eye. You did it 4 times with a minute break in between plus other stuff. Lots of squats and mountain climbers. Whew. Hell yeah, Janelle. Before, after, for dinner, for lunch, for a snack, just stretch. Oh, it's nice that they include the stretching after every session. All right, 5.3. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. Where's my charts? Damn. Wanted the point of control to move down. So something else like I've been learning a little bit is like, usually if the point of control is in the wick, it's more of an attempt to trap. And then if the point of control is in the body, it's more of a like, it's more of a, you can trap in the body. However, the point of control being in the body is more of a like showing you sustained pressure kind of thing. So there are a lot more setups when the point of control is in the body versus the wick. Because if you're going to trap, you got to trap kind of perfectly almost. But then also there are times where like the point of control is in the wick, but the sellers are in control in the point of control, which means that like what that typically indicates, kind of depending on the setup, is that the sellers took control a little too early. And I'll end up with moves like this where I would get stopped out just for price to push exactly where I want it to be. Oh, my back. You know, none of that sounds fun at all. So Jim, try to figure out what I'm gonna do myself. Yeah, going to the gym is cool, but I do notice there are a lot of people who like, okay, you've been in the gym for a long time, and maybe if you just schedule just one session with a trainer, you would probably see better results, because a lot of people are just maybe doing what they see on social media. I don't know. But they're not doing exercises that are effective for what they're trying to accomplish with their bodies. Not y'all preparing to kick everybody's ass. The Eat, Pray, Love lady said in her memoir. Who the hell is the Eat, Pray, Love lady? All right, let's see. Who is the Eat, Pray, Love lady? Elizabeth Gilbert. Wait. A planned murder? What? Is this true? I'm the nice lady who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and I came very close to premeditatedly and cold-bloodedly murdering my partner because she had taken her affection away from me and because I was extremely tired. What? Wait. So eating 2,500 calories and walking for 30 minutes. Fuck that's gonna do. Exactly, trenches. Exactly. What the hell is that gonna do? Absolutely nothing. Okay, wait. Okay. I'm basically break even. I'm not taking any more trades because I'd rather end up break even and not red. Okay. Y'all, I am on Reddit right now, and this is what is written about this, okay? We're gonna get into this. Oh wait, let me turn off my alerts for reversal bars because I don't feel like hearing that while I read. Okay. I think this... Okay. Elizabeth Gilbert and Rhea Elias have been best friends since 2000 before Elizabeth wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Rhea was a former cocaine and heroin addict. Elizabeth had gifted Rhea a house in 2013 to allow Rhea to write a memoir called Harley Loco about her addiction and recovery. When Rhea was diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer in 2016 and given 6 months to live, Elizabeth immediately broke up with her husband, the man she met at the end of Eat, Pray, Love, and whom she wrote about marrying and committed, to confess her love to Rhea. Elizabeth did not include details of her divorce from her ex-husband in the book in order to protect his privacy. Rhea and Elizabeth quickly became a couple and had a commitment ceremony. So she left her husband for somebody who only had 6 months to live, which was her best friend. Okay. Elizabeth promised to not leave Rhea's side throughout her cancer and death journey. You could have did that as her best friend. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Promising to follow her all the way to the river, inspiring the title of the memoir. After Rhea's cancer diagnosis, Elizabeth enabled Rhea's relapse back into drug addiction. Elizabeth used alcohol, weed, Xanax, Ambien, mushrooms, and MDMA with Rhea. Elizabeth watched as Rhea abused prescription painkillers. She knowingly gave Rhea money for her to start buying cocaine again. She also personally bought Rhea thousands of dollars of cocaine from local drug dealers. Elizabeth registered with the city as a drug user to get needles for Rhea. Elizabeth tied off Rhea's limbs and held flashlights up to Rhea's veins to help her shoot up. In the midst of Rhea's decline, Elizabeth planned Rhea's murder, collecting the needed medications and fentanyl patches. Elizabeth was clear this was in fact a murder attempt and not a compassionate euthanasia, as Rhea did not want to die. Elizabeth said this of the planned murder: "I'm the nice lady who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and I came very close to premeditatedly and cold-bloodedly murdering my partner because she had taken her affection away from me and because I was extremely tired." Elizabeth stopped her murder plan when Rhea began suspecting her. After Elizabeth's murder plan was thwarted, she sat Rhea down and told her that she thought Rhea had lost her soul and her integrity, that Rhea was degrading Elizabeth's soul, and that Elizabeth had accepted Rhea's death, and she felt she had done all she could, and now she wasn't going to stick around for what Rhea had gotten herself into. Elizabeth then kicked Rhea out of their shared home with no warning and went no contact for several weeks, despite knowing that Rhea had nowhere to go. Rhea, now suddenly homeless and still dying and addicted to the drugs Elizabeth had been buying and administering to her, was forced to move several states away to live with one of her exes who agreed to take her in. Rhea's ex quickly got Rhea sober and back under a physician-approved medication plan by administering prescription medications at the right time, locking up meds, and not buying or giving her drugs. Due to the effects of her illness and withdrawal, Rhea was reportedly distressed during the weeks of Elizabeth's sudden no contact, feeling confused and disoriented as to why she was living in a new state and why Elizabeth had gone missing. After Rhea's ex got her sober, Elizabeth reestablished contact, you a bitch, and visited Rhea at her ex home until Rhea eventually died a few weeks/months later. Now, 7 years after Rhea's death, Elizabeth claims to have achieved her highest level of peace through a 12-step program for sex and love addiction. Part of Elizabeth's healing for the past few years has involved refusing to give struggling family members or friends any financial support from her multi-million-dollar fortune, calling this financial sobriety. Rhea's sister objected to the memoir in an interview with the New York Times and called it exploitative, saying she didn't want Rhea's death to be monetized. Elizabeth claims she got permission to write the memoir several years after Rhea's death, when Rhea's dead spirit visited from beyond the grave to commune with Elizabeth in Elizabeth's own mind. According to Elizabeth, she could hear Rhea's spirit in her mind telling her that Rhea kind of digs being dead, and that Elizabeth should write all the gory details in a public book because Rhea's spirit had no use for dignity since she's dead. In this short telepathic communion, Rhea's spirit also apparently called Elizabeth beautiful 3 times, made cancer jokes, and predicted that Elizabeth was going to become enlightened. Elizabeth's ultimate view on what happened: Rhea is my most beautiful story. Somebody said, failing to kill my wife and best friend whom I addicted to drugs, I got addicted to drugs really gave me clarity that my fuck you money should stay in my bank account. Y'all, what the fuck? What is this? This is insane. I can eat 1,200 days worth of crap because I walked 10 minutes. Amelia, you're crazy. What is this? No, Janelle, I did not watch that, but I heard it was really good. Catfish videos. Exactly, Trenches. In the world of FaceTime, and nobody should be able to catfish you. If they refuse to get on FaceTime, they ain't real. This is crazy. Exactly, Applejack. She's taking her affection. She ain't got nothing for you, baby. She's dying. You literally left your husband to be with somebody who's dying, and you're upset because they don't have the time, energy, or effort to put into you. Are you crazy? We might need you to go back to being a nurse. Baby, I can't do nothing for her. Extreme narcissism, for real. Yes, she actually wrote and published. This is insane. I knew she was shady as fuck. That ain't no shit my daughter can read. Eat, Pray, Love. I'm thinking, exactly, Trenches. Eat, Pray, Love. I'm like, okay, this has to be something inspiring, something motivational, some kind of like self-help book or something. First of all the things I just read, what the fuck does any of that have to do with eating, praying, and loving? What is this? And you listening to the audiobook? Girl, look, I'm disgusted. The fact that people have the ability to monetize things like this and it's a real story is a problem. It's a problem. And then, not to say people are glorifying it, but there are people out here who have this sick, twisted mentality of, but she didn't do it. Like, this is her story of like not doing it. Like, no, bitch. The fact that it even went through her damn mind and she planned it and she had, like, you got this girl addicted to drugs again. You are a monster. That was crazy. Eat, Pray, Love was about how she left someone for the husband that she left. Oh, wait. So this is a new book. Child, well, what's the name of this book? Where's my history? Okay, we got, okay. It does say disturbing new memoir. Is this the one? Oh, wait, no. What is the name of it? Oh, All the Way to the River. And then this little heifer of a lady just sitting here smiling. She says she strings together self-help cliches with no invention, no curiosity about poetry or anything really but herself. She needs to be in a psych home. And let me tell you something. If there is anybody in this lifetime who ends up being with her, knowing her history based on public information that she has created, you're crazy. The lady's gonna kill you. Those thoughts don't just go away. Because the minute she feels, it doesn't even have to be a reality. The minute she feels even a little bit of an inkling of you withdrawing your love from her, she's gonna kill you. And then the full name of the book is All the Way to the River, Love, Loss, and Liberation. What is liberating about what the hell I just read? So this bitch is just... Oh my God, Trenches. Ain't no excuse my language. You're right, this bitch, because what? Huh? Charges need to be filed immediately. Yes. She just admitted to all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, why? How come charges don't get filed with stuff like this? I know the person is not alive anymore, but I'm pretty sure there is proof of her being at her ex's house. There's proof of her going through the rehab facility. And this lady just publicly put out the information. What more do we need to charge this lady? He came here swinging. It's that she just an author now. That's such a black thing to say. We definitely double the words to emphasize. Because what? Ah, what? Uh, Wait, what does it say? Let's just live balls to the wall until I die. Rhea says, turning down chemo for cocaine, which Liz paid for. Somebody said, what in the flying fuck did I just read? Then somebody says, I think this review, the review I just read, I think this review is too kind. Oh, no, 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 no. I think they're talking about the link. There's like a link to a website called The Guardian that reviewed it. It was like, in this book, Gilbert admits to enabling her girlfriend's relapse at the end of her life, plotting to murder her, abandoning her to be homeless while she was terminally ill and addicted to drugs, and then granting herself permission to write all about it in excruciating detail. Like he said, I call it deranged and sickening. And then the thing is, so somebody was talking about the Eat, Pray, Love book and was saying like she was admitting to how unfulfilling her sex and romance addiction ultimately is because love doesn't last. And it says, but when someone can so easily and abruptly seize on, then abandon dozens of people, whether they have a partner, whether she has a partner, what does love even mean to them? I think she needs to stop dating. She don't need to be around nobody. She needs to be in a psych home. Victim's family has grounds to sue her. I wonder. Is it conspiracy? Locked up for conspiracy to commit murder. Like well, she is a white woman, so maybe that's why. Because it's just no way. When did this book get released? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Does this have a date on it? It does not. So let's see. When was released? Oh. I hope this is not a real picture of Oprah promoting this book. Okay, so it was released 9 days ago. And on her Instagram, she says, my new book will be released on September 9th, and I'll be traveling around this fall, meeting you and talking with you about the big stuff, love, loss, and liberation. I can't wait to share it with you. Why are you so excited to share that you tried to kill someone? I'm so confused. It has 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads.com, 1,500 reviews. Okay, so when did Rhea when did she die? She died in 2018. 7 years ago. This is just so insane. I I yeah. There was something. Why does it say she left People in 2022? Did she used to work for People magazine or something? I don't know. Of course she's white. Why would you assume anything different? Make her. Yeah, it said it came out on the 9th. I think the craziest thing is like all the articles from 2018 are popping up from when the lady died, when Rhea died. And it's like Elizabeth Gilbert shares a touching tribute to her late partner. Da 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 da. Just for 7 years later, you to find out she was trying to kill that lady. And I love how light the wording is for this stuff. The New York Times headline says, in a new memoir, Elizabeth Gilbert gets dark, very dark. Let's call a spade a spade. It's more than dark. This is insane. What? Yeah, that's crazy. I don't. That is just crazy. Let me I'm about to take a picture of these accounts so I can journal and maybe take a nap or something. And I really, like, y'all don't understand. I literally, this is me. I will take my analysis sheets and I lay in the bed and I just look at them and I'm like, mainly, like I said, just looking at the sheets where it's saying that price reacted off of a level or something. I'm just like in deep thought, looking at them back and forth, trying to figure out what's what. And that's going to be me today because I have to figure out. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm also going to make sure that I get some more days done on the back test to figure out the delta signals and if they're needed or not. I got like probably a week's worth done pretty quickly yesterday. So I'm going to try to get like another probably 10 to 15 days done today. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. My only goal is to make sure it's done by Sunday because I want to come into Monday with like extreme clarity. That's why I'm not going to trade that Tradeify account anymore this week. So I'm not going to trade it tomorrow. I'm going to let it stay where it is, needing $700 something left to pass it, up from 3 something. And that way I'm not putting it at risk anymore for now. Yeah, very gaslighting language, just crazy. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Still have $1,400 and $1,200 of drawdown left in these 2 particular accounts. And they don't renew for a while. I think one of them just renewed on the 8th. It wasn't that much in profit to begin with. I just needed to get it back, with full drawdown, which I was able to do before it renewed. I think it renewed on the 8th. And then the other one renews, I think maybe on the 29th. So got a little bit of time. And I'll just end up doing exactly what I did with the last account, just multiplying contracts the last couple of days and kind of going from there. But yeah, that's it for me, you guys. I'm gonna go study, journal, go to bed. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.